If you compare iMachining to conventional, machining where you're doing it layer by layer by layer, it's pretty astounding. So at ViewFactor, we specialize in making camera equipment. So we basically make accessories for film cameras, video cameras. Our customers vary from small productions all the way up to large productions. So you might get someone that's a mom and pop shop that does basic TV production all the way up to blockbuster movies. Generally right now, a lot of it's just accessories to wrap around the cameras. So a lot of high-end film cameras, they don't have a lot of mounting options. So typically you'll get a camera that has maybe one bolt hole in it for mounting. And so what we'll do is we'll make a cage that goes around it that gives you more mounting options. So you can mount more accessories onto your camera, like video monitors and audio recorders and handles and things like that. So it takes a camera that might not be completely professional, and it puts it into a position where now you can use it in a professional environment. We have right now 4 machines. We have a Herco, we have 2 Haas DT1s, and then we also have a Brother TC R2B. 3 of those machines are just regular 3-axis, and then the 4th machine is a 4th axis with a quick table. So it allows us to do some pretty complicated parts that would normally require a lot of fixtures. We ended up using a competitor software, and one of the downsides to that was that it was a completely separate application from SolidWorks. So we found ourselves exporting parts, doing toolpaths, and then a lot of the things that we do in our company are very, very quick R&D, right? So we basically come up with a design, and then we'll make several changes over the course of 2 days because we can just go down to the shop and make it out of metal. And what we'd find is that every single time I needed to bring a new part in, I'd have to go and export it again, bring it back in. And it was just kind of this process that I didn't really like. And additionally, the software wasn't very intuitive. I mean, when you're using SolidWorks, it's a very clean software package, very easy to work through. And then this other package, it felt like I was walking back in time. So we wanted something a little bit more modern. So when we started looking for a software package, there was a lot of them out there. We went with SolidCAM because it was integrated with SolidWorks, which I really liked. And I like the graphical nature of SolidWorks, being able to see all the shading and getting a good idea of what the part's going to look like. So SolidCAM really fit the bill for us, especially for being able to have everything in one package. And I think what I like the most is that when I made a change to my model, all my toolpaths updated. So instead of having to export again, I just make the tweak, re-export the G-code, and done. One of the parts that we make right now with iMachining is a battery plate. So a lot of the film cameras, they require external power, and so we make a plate that actually allows you to bolt a larger capacity battery onto a number of different film cameras, or not film cameras, a lot of different digital cameras. So the idea is that you plug this external battery into the external power port on your camera, and then you can power it up for much longer. So these battery plates, basically it's about 4 inches wide, half an inch thick, and about 6 inches long. And there's a lot of machining of it that we want to get rid of a lot of the weight, right? So most of the stuff on camera equipment is getting rid of weight. So the operation on the back of this battery plate required iMachining to just rip out a lot of metal very quickly. If you compare iMachining to conventional, machining where you're doing it layer by layer by layer, it's pretty astounding. I think the one part that I mentioned earlier, the top plate, like I said, it was taking about an hour and 10 minutes or so. We were able to cut that down to about 35 minutes just by iMachining alone. So a lot of it, I think a lot of it just comes down to when you're using iMachining, I think you start thinking a little bit more aggressively about how you can machine your parts. So you start realizing that your CNC is capable of a lot more than you used to think. And I think it kind of makes you push the boundaries a little bit more. Across all the tool paths. So like I'm doing chamfering faster, I'm doing drilling and tapping faster. I used to be very conservative, now I'm like, what the heck, let's give it a go. Working with people at SolidCAM's been great. Their tech support's awesome. They have support in a number of time zones, which lends itself pretty well for us because, I'm pretty much the only engineer here at our company. And a lot of times I'll be working very late hours. So the nice thing is that you can get a much wider expanse of support. So they have support on the West Coast, which is great. And I think the most stellar part about the experience so far has been their post processing. So we have basically four different manufacturers for our CNC mills, and being able to have a post for each one of those without paying substantially for a post code is really nice. I mean, the other packages, I think they charge, you know, a pretty substantial amount for each post that you do. So the nice thing is on the SolidCAM side, every single time you do a post, you know, SolidCAM will actually walk through it with you. They'll send it to you. You could try it out. Any tweaks that you need, you send it back. They'll fix it. It's been really great. It's been a huge advantage for us. I mean, I think just the path that it takes from idea to coming up with a CAD model to getting the cam stuff done and getting on the machine and cutting metal is a lot faster. I mean, it used to be I'd have to factor in about a day to make a part, and now I can do it in a matter of hours. I mean, like for case in point, I had a part the other day that I basically had the idea, designed it in SolidWorks, and had it machined probably within about 4 hours.